Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Nasir Soft. In this video, I will show you with an example how k-mean clustering works. As we know that the k-mean is a clustering algorithm in which a dataset is given to us, and based on the distinct object, that is the object distance, we group them to a cluster. Okay, so this is the overall algorithm of the k-mean. At start, the number of clusters, it gives us the how many number of clusters we want. So we have the k values, and based on the k values that is given to us, we cluster them or group them. Then we find the centroid value, and then we can find the distance. In my scenario, in this example, I will use the Euclidean distance objects to centroid, and then grouping based on the minimum distance. And here k value is 2, so therefore it requires the 2 clusters. Okay, so this is the example. Okay, we have different individuals, variable 1 and variable 2. For example, we have the 7 elements, and we group them, okay, with base on the distance by using the k-mean clustering. So this is very simple. The first point of solving is to pick the centroid value, as the number of cluster is equal to 2, and now we define the centroid. So we have to group them in 2 clusters, so therefore we define the 2 centroid. So here I choose these 2 centroid values as 1, that is this variable 1 is 1 and variable 2 is 2, individual 1 and individual 4. So we have picked the 2 centroid value initially, okay, randomly. So now it means that we have 2 groups in cluster 1, the individual 1, and in cluster 2, that is individual 4. So now in this step 2, we have compute the Euclidean distance. Okay, so for example, if I again talk about this example, okay, so the first group is, if I write here, I will show you how we can compute one, and remaining you can calculate with the same steps. So we have here group 1, I denote is G1, or that is M1. Okay, and the formula of computing the group, for example, first I denote the group, that is individual 1, its first value is 1.0, and second variable 2 value is equal to also 1.0. And the second group is, I denoted it with the M2, and its value is, the first variable is 5.0 and second variable value is 7.0. As you can see here, the first 10 and 450. Okay, so therefore I write here. So the next step is to compute the Euclidean distance. For example, how can I find the Euclidean distance of M1? Okay, that is equal to under root, for example, M1. Okay, so we have to compute, if I here I say that I have to compute the Euclidean distance of group 1 M1 to each point, each data points. At initially I will compute the Euclidean distance of individual 1 with the 2. Okay, here you can see that. So what is the Euclidean distance of 1 and 2? That is equal to the first variable point, that is 1, minus the second first point 1.5 whole square, plus the second data point of first, that is 1.0, minus second data point of second, that is equal to 2.0. So we have to compute the Euclidean distance with respect to the group 1 each of these points, and similarly for the group 2. Okay, so the answer will be here, if I calculate, it is equal to 1.12. and similarly, okay, so therefore now, okay, similarly I will compute the Euclidean distance okay, of 2 with respect. For example, if I go to here this table, so here at the place of I will compute the inclusion distance of 1, okay, that is 0.2 with respect to 1. So therefore I write here this value that is equal to 1.12. so it means that I will calculate the inclusion distance of centroid individual 2 with respect to the centroid 1, that is equal to 1.2. Similarly, we will compute the inclusion distance of 2 with respect to the centroid 2. So I will show you how you can compute this step. Okay, this is very simple. For example, what will be the inclusion distance for D of this point, that is individual 2. Okay, this is also individual 2. In individual 2 with respect to the centroid 2, that will equal to similar formula. What is the data points of 2? That is 1.5. The centroid 2 is 5, so therefore this is equal to 5.0 minus this point. Basically we are computing the 2, that is equal to 1.5 whole square plus, and this one 7.0 minus 2.0 whole square. So we will computing the inclusion distance of individual 2 with respect to centroid 2. So therefore this I will put all these value in this formula, and when I compute, the answer will be 6.10. so therefore I will write at the place of here this value that is equal to 6.10. So similarly, what is the distance between individual 1 to centroid 1? As centroid 1 is we already put the individual 1 as the centroid, so therefore this will be 0. And after calculating all these value, okay, with this step, with similarly to this step, the table will like this one. For example, if I explain it to you, so at individual 7, that is this one, if we talk about, okay, so the inclusion distance of individual 7 with respect to centroid 1, that is individual 1, this one with same formula, and the distance of the individual with respect to centroid 2 is 2.92. Now we have to select them with respect to in which cluster they will occur based on their shortest inclusion distance. As the first 0 is less than centroid 2 value, so therefore the individual 1 will be inside the centroid 1. I will write here cluster 1, so it will comes into cluster 1. What's about this one? This is smaller than this one, so therefore it will also inside the cluster 1 or centroid 1. What's about this one? This is 3.60 and 3.61. As 3.60 is less than, so individual 3 will occur at centroid 1 or cluster 1. What's about the 4? 7.21 and centroid 2 is 0. So 0 is less than 7.21, so therefore individual 4 will be placed at centroid 2 or cluster 2. At 5, it will also place as cluster 2, as this is minimum, this one is minimum, this is also at centroid 2, and it will also inside the cluster or centroid 2. So this is how step 2 will end. After computing all the inclusion distance with respect to the centroid, we place or order them inside the cluster. Now we will move toward the step 3. At step 3, as these first 3 individuals will be in cluster 1 and remaining will be cluster 2, so I write here this one like that. In this step, we group individual 1, 2, 3 in centroid 1 and individual 2, 4, 5, 6 with 7 with the centroid 2. So now this is the more important step. After in first step, okay, at start we assume at random with we consider the random 1 and 4 individual with the centroid. So now we have computed all these values inside in the previous step. So now on the base of the mean, okay, now we will select our next centroid value. That is very simple. For example, what will be the mean of centroid 1? Now we calculating the mean of centroid 1. Okay, as centroid 1 contains individual 1, 2 and 3, so the original values, that is very important, don't miss it with the equivalent distance value. So we have to compute the mean of original values. So individual 1, 2 and 3 original value is 1.0, 1.5, 3.0 and variable 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so therefore the mean of is will be as here the individual one first value, that is 1.0, 1.0 plus individual 2, as it contains 1, 2, 3 individuals, so therefore individual 2 first point, that is equal to 1.5 plus individual 3, that is 3.0 divided by as overall 3, so therefore 3, this is 1 point. Okay, similarly with the variable 2 first individual 3, 1, 2, 3 second variable, that first is equal to 1.0, then 2.0 and then 4.0, and we divide it with the 3. So that is the mean of centroid 1. So after calculating the mean of the centroid 1 will be equal to 1.83 comma, and this one will be 2.33. So similarly we calculate the mean of centroid 2. That will then our that will becomes our next centroid. Then next step, the mean of centroid 2, that is equal to, in centroid 2 we have 4 value individual, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7. The fourth first is 5.0 plus 3.5, that is equal to 5 plus 4.5 plus 3.5 divided by 4 now this time. And similarly with this one 7, 5, 3 and 4.5, we have sum as mean formula is sum of all divided by overall values. 5.0 plus 5.0 again and plus 4.5 divided by 4. After that the result will be equal to, that is 4.12 and this is 5.38. So in the next step we have two centroid and we repeat the each of these steps again with respect to centroid 1 and centroid 2. So now our two centroid is updated. First centroid is 1.83 and 2.33, variable 1, variable 2, and second centroid variable 1, variable 2 value is this one. So now we have to compute the all the included distance with respect to, and we have to fill with the same step as I mentioned to you, and we can compute the included distance of individual one with centroid 1 with respect to centroid 2, and we have to group them again inside the clusters. Okay, we have repeat the same steps. So after computing the included distance with respect to these centroid, okay, for example the individual one, the included distance of individual 1 point with respect to centroid 1 is now comes 1.57 and centroid with respect to centroid 2 is 5.38. So we have group 8, centroid 1 is less than centroid 2, so I have group 8 inside the cluster 1, and similarly this will also occur in cluster 1. So this is the all the values of included distance with respect to these new centroid point. Okay, this will lie inside the cluster 2. This will also cluster 2 as 1.84 is less than 5.64 as compared to, this is also in cluster 2 and cluster 2. So now you will see that the 3 is in previous step is inside the, if I show to you, inside the cluster 1. Now 3 is goes to inside the cluster 2. Now we repeat all these steps again. So what are these steps? First, now cluster 1 we have to calculate the mean of the cluster 1. Now that is cluster 1 contains only two individuals, 1 and 2, and so we have to calculate the mean of 1, 2, and inside the cluster 2 these all values that or points 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 individuals were. So we have to compute this also, that is the new centroid value. And if you will see that after calculating or repeating all these steps in the new with respect to the new centroid value, so in the next step the value is repeated. Similarly, for example, no value point from the cluster 1 is goes to the cluster 2, or no points from the cluster 2 will goes to the cluster 1. So it means that after repeating the next step, no value will be replaced to any clusters. So these cluster values comes with the same in the if you repeat the next step. So it means that we have achieved the coverage. So this is overall how the k-mean clustering is works. Okay, so after computing, or graphically if I represent that these are two cluster, the first cluster contains only two values, individual 1 and 2, and the second cluster contains the others four values, that is 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, five values, sorry. So this is how k-mean algorithm works. And if you repeat all these steps, then you will see that this cluster value remains same. It means that this cluster 1, in the next step, if you compute all these steps, then this will also contain these two values, and this contain these five values. No value is going from this cluster to this one, or this one to this one. So it means that we have achieved the coverage value, or all our values is placed or grouped in right position. This is how the k-mean algorithm works. If you have any questions regarding to this topic, you can email me at nasirsoft93@gmail.com, or you can comment inside the video comment section. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more informative videos. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more informative videos. Stay blessed. Have a nice day.